Hello guys, I am Yasir Ali. To continue our discussion about coil tubing fishing, here we'll discuss that how to latch a fish with the help of a spear fishing tool. In our previous tutorials, we have already discussed that what is spear and how does it work. And now we'll see that how to latch a fish using GS spear tool or hydraulic spear tool. And we will understand this procedure with the help of a job chart, that is the actual job chart which has been performed during the on the field. We'll understand latching with the help of this particular chart. So let's start our discussion about that how to latch a fish with GS spear tool. So here we have a complete job chart which was recorded during the fishing of a monologue plug using the GS spear fishing tool. So we can see this chart. This is for the complete job, that is the coil tubing has been run from the surface to the target depth and then has been pulled to the surface. We can see this one with the help of this depth chart. On the x-axis here we have time, and on the y-axis we have different parameters, that is rate, depth, coil tubing weight, wellhead pressure and circulation pressure, that is coil tubing pressure. So here if we see this depth, it is showing the running in hole, and this weight line is showing the pull test, that after each specific interval like 1000 feet we have performed the pull test. So ultimately we have run the coil tubing from surface to the target depth. Then here we have latched the fish. This particular portion we need to understand in detail, but we'll understand this particular portion in our next slide. Here we'll just see overall job chart. Here we latched the fish, and then here in this particular portion we perform the jarring action to retrieve the fish, to release the fish, and then ultimately we pull CT out of hole. Now here we'll see that is how we latched the fish. We'll just magnify this particular portion and then we'll understand that how we latched the fish. So here we have the magnified chart, that is below chart shows the magnified interval during which the fish has been latched. So here we can see that this depth is increasing, that is we are running in the hole. Here the speed is much more as compared to this particular interval. Here we can see that the slope has been decreased, or simply we can say that the speed has been decreased, because here depth is increasing too fast, that is we are going with higher speed, but once we are near to fish we have reduced the speed. That point is mentioned over here, that approaching the fish speed has been reduced and run in hole slowly. So we have started run in hole slowly, and once we are about at the fish we have provided a gradual slack, small slack of weight, which is indicated by the drop in weight. After providing the slack, we pick the coil, and when we pick the coil we see overpull, because our normal weight is this one, approximately 22,000. If we see in the previous chart, these are our pull test, okay, so on different intervals, and just before the fishing this is the value. Here we can see this is the value of the pull test, which is approximately 22,000 pounds. And here once we slack and then we pick the coil, we can see our weight has been increased up till 40,000, that is approximately 18,000 pounds over pull. It means we have latched the fish, or we have catched the fish, and we are lucky enough that we latch the fish in first attempt, that is we just give it the slack, and once we pick up we observe the overpull, and overpull is an indication of the fact that we have latched the fish. That is written over here, that 15,000 slack weight is applied and then picked CT, overpull observed, indicating that fish has been latched. So I'll just explain again that here we are approaching to the fish. Once we are on the top of the fish we provided the slack, then after waiting for 1 minute we pick the coil tubing and then we observed the overpull, which is indicating that fish has been latched. This drop is indicating that jar has been activated. We applied the overpull, and then after 1 to 2 minutes there is a sudden drop in weight, okay, which is showing the jar activation. Then after that we have again provided the slack to close the jar, and then we pick the coil again to just confirm that we have latched the fish or not. Again we have observed the overpull, which is indicating that we have latched the fish. We have confirmed the fish 3 times. This is the first overpull, second overpull, and then this is the third overpull. So in this way we have latched the fish in this particular interval. Now we'll further magnify this part and we'll see. Okay, see here we can see we are approaching the target depth, that is approximately, here we can see it was 6564 something plus minus 6540, so it was 6550 plus minus. Okay, so here the depth is increasing and here is our weight. So here we see the slowly that there is a increase in depth, and then we applied the slack. This drop in weight is indicating that we applied the slack. Then we gradually started picking coil, which is indicated by the drop in depth and increase in weight. Okay, and then our weight has been increased up to 40k with an overpull of 18,000, and then this drop is showing the jar activation. This particular point is showing that jar has been activated. So this is the slack weight, this is the overpull, okay, which is indication that fish has been latched. Again, this is the further magnification of this particular portion. Okay, so here we can see the slack weight that we have slacked 1500 pounds, and then this is the overpull. Okay, and then this is the jar activation. So in this way we have understood that how to latch a fish using spear tool. Now we'll just see all these points in written form, that how to latch a fish using spear fishing tool that run coil tubing to depth just above the item to be retrieved. In this particular example we have to remove the plug, monologue plug from the tubing. So we run just above the top of the fish, begin circulation through the coil tubing string to remove any sand or debris which may prevent latching the fish neck of the fish. So we can try without pumping or with pumping. Without pumping, if we try and we are unable to latch the fish, then we perform circulation to clean the face of the fish or top of the fish. But the example we just discussed, we were lucky enough, we latched the fish without circulation, without cleaning in the first attempt. Then gently set down on the fish neck until a reduction in weight is observed. Do not run in hole rapidly and impact the fish. When latching the fish, run slowly with the minimum speed. Stop pumping, wait for 1 minute to ensure that dogs move into the latched in position. Take a moderate upstrain on the work string to verify latching has occurred. That is, slowly pick the coil, and if there is an overpull, it means the fish has been latched. When assured of the latching the fish, continue to pick up to retrieve the fish. Upward jarring may be required for stuck fish, as we see in our previous chart that in this particular example we were needed to perform the jarring to remove the fish. So that was the discussion that how to latch a fish using spear retrieval tool. So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next tutorial.